Kenobi's corner. Kenobi's corner. Kenobi's corner.
Ooh, this chai latte is weird.
Why?
Maybe because I'm tasting with an old man mouth instead of like my young buck mouth that I used to have.
Your taste buds are just older.
Yeah.
They're just aged. They haven't aged gracefully, apparently.
No, not at all. They've seen some things.
There's all kinds of stuff going on. Oh, God.
Where I think back then, I think a chai latte was the most, I guess, international thing I've ever tasted.
International?
Like, because I never really, I don't think I explored a lot mouthly
you were
when I
dumb.
was when I was a teen.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't until like.
Where would you say a chai latte is from then? If it's international.
I was going to say Chinese, but. That doesn't make sense. I'm sorry.
It's like anything you would say at that point is just racist.
Yeah. That's racist.
You put yourself in that pickle.
I know. It was going down that path from go, and I was just like, can I paint myself out? Nope. Welcome to Kenobi's Corner. I'm Eric, and this is John.
Hello.
Hello. In my booming radio voice. Can you hear me out there in Radio Land?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. We're here to talk to you this week about sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, movies, TV, and everything we find interesting in between.
Yeah, we are.
Welcome, friends. So we got a lot of things, so much things. We spent a lot of money this week, I feel, on movies.
Yeah, probably.
Comic books, video games, I feel. Everything that we're interested in, I think we dropped some cash in, at least somewhat this week.
At least a lot.
Yeah. So if you're the same, you know how it goes. We're going to be talking about some movies that we went to go see, some awesomeness that came out, some news about some upcoming features, and just some fun stuff that we found. But first off, sad news. Joan Lee, Stan Lee's wife, passed away. Married 69 years. She passed away this past weekend during, I guess, before the release of Spider-Man came out. But yeah, super crazy, man. He gave Marvel released that video that we'll link it here, but in the description. But basically, a story about how they met, and Stanley gives this great not reimagining, but just like a retelling of
recounting.
How he was in the military. He got out of the military, and he was looking for just to get married. He was like, I just need to settle down.
Yeah.
And a buddy of his was just like, oh, you need to go see this lady. She works at this modeling agency. Go check her out, And so he went, and this lady walked up to him and was just like, hey, how can I help you? And he was like, just so like really enthused. Like he just was so taken back about how great she looked, and just her voice was just heavenly, and everything. But that wasn't the girl he was supposed to meet. It was some other girl.
I think he went. I think he went to her house, is what it was, and it was the roommate that answered.
Oh,
so he actually never met the person he was supposed to meet, and met Joan instead.
Yeah.
And I love in one of his retellings, he says that he had been drawing his perfect woman for however many years beforehand, like that he'd always imagined this person being the person he would his perfect woman, the person he would want to marry. And that Joan, like when he first saw her, he was like, this is the person that I've been drawing this whole time. And then when she spoke, she had a British accent, and he's a sucker for British accents, so that's what sealed the deal right then and there.
Dang.
So I mean, it's cool, man. It's a great story. It's sad because, dude, that's a long time to be together with somebody, and then just to have them go away now, that really sucks. Like, I mean, my wife and I have been married 13 years, and I can't even imagine like what life would be without her. Like, and that's after 13 years. I'm already to that point, and like for him to be like 69 years, almost 70, like they were getting ready to celebrate that 70th, and
yeah.
Dude, it sucks. Like now they can't. Still though, at 69 years, that's a long time, I'm sure like we hope that he can cherish the memories that they had together and take comfort in that part of it that they had so long, and not everybody gets to get that far just because.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a rarity, especially nowadays. It is that classic kind of. It really is out of a comic book, kind of like his telling of it, which makes sense because it was pretty much his imagining of of this whole entire comic universe of like meeting somebody and just having that relationship with them and being able to cherish them for so long. And man, it's definitely rough, but our collective hearts go out to him, and hope he's doing well. Hope the Lee family is able to cope and move on.
Yeah, heck yeah. After they brought so much joy to like all of our lives with all the comic stuff and everything that's going on there. To all of
us, most of which we're going to talk about today.
Heck yeah.
We'll take a hard pivot though, but we'll go into something that John was able to check out, but I sadly I wasn't. Star Wars: Forces of Destiny, man.
Yeah.
What'd you think, dude?
First of all, just to let you know, because I know sometimes it's very difficult for you, each episode is not an hour long. They're actually the exact opposite.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kind of with, you ventured into, Voltron. That everything was an hour.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
I dipped out of the first
just
episode.
To let you know, because I know you might have backed away because thinking you didn't have time for this. But collectively, when you watch all of them, you're under 15 minutes. Oh, God. Like, you'll be able to watch all of these.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
So far, 6 episodes have dropped, and I think that was the plan. 6 episodes a week, I want to say, until this thing's over.
6 episodes a week?
Yes.
That sounds like more than an hour already.
No, dude. No. Are you kidding me? This is exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't know. You've lost me again. I'm sorry.
They're like between 2 and 3 minutes, I think, for each episode, and that was kind of the point of them. I think they were just trying to do like little clips of parts of stories that you can just kind of get into, and I think a big part of it is because they're all featuring the female characters of Star Wars. So it's like hey, here's this female character who's doing something really badass who you may not get to see all the time. It's one of those things where I know, and to get really into the controversial part of all of this stuff, like just because we got to go there. I think we have to go there because it happens. Because I know some of the biggest complaints that come out, especially nowadays, with all the new Star Wars movies coming out, like, they're featuring so many female characters. The female characters are all the leads. Like, so why is everything pivoting that way? And then we have Forces of Destiny, which is all just females. Dude, guys have had the lead on every single little thing for the past 60 years of film, plus 100 years of film. When was film invented? I don't even know.
It was a while ago.
It was too long ago to tell.
At least more than 20 or 30 years, I'm sure.
But I mean, like, guys have had the run of everything, for the longest time, and now it seems like the females are taking the lead and doing a lot of stuff that's really badass and things that I want to watch that females are finally starting to take the lead on. Star Wars is the one kind of leading the way, I think. Like, this is one of the things that is very intentional. Like, hey, give young girls a chance to have a role model and see a role model doing some pretty cool stuff, even if it's just in small segments and with all the rest of the movies and shows and everything else, like just kind of an immersion of that part of it. Even on the Marvel side still, like, we're still waiting on the first female-led movie to come out with Captain Marvel. So it's taking some time. It's taking some time. It's growing. It's getting there. It's becoming a little bit more equal, or we can have both. But I don't know. I really enjoyed watching them. You can really tell that the target audience is young girls or kids in general. Really, like, they're all hand drawn, old school style.
The kids are all hand drawn.
Quick action, huh?
The kids are all hand drawn.
No.
Okay.
The show is all hand drawn. Why would the kids be?
I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy.
Only you would think that.
Sorry,
but it's cool.
I think as a parent of a young female,
You appreciate this?
No, I absolutely do. Just
Okay,
because
good.
it's I don't know. I think it's difficult to give them because I want to get them involved in things that I like, and especially I want to get her to dig this stuff and to have like a bunch of like Batman and Superman stuff around, or X-Men stuff just hanging out at the place. She doesn't play with them all too much, but I'd like to get her involved in like more, Ray and just getting her like Princess Leia stuff and just get her some more stuff that she can be more involved with. But I think that's awesome. I'm kind of overviewing it now as we're talking, and it looks cool. Like it's just drawn cool. I like it.
Yeah, no, the animation style looks really cool. It's a little different. Rather than doing like the full computer graphics, making everything almost like photorealistic, or it's definitely not in the style of like Clone Wars or Rebels or anything like that. It's like old school, hand drawn looking stuff, which is really awesome, man. I think that's really cool, and I don't know, like I'm excited that they're doing that. It's fun to see. It's extra little stories that we get to watch. Everything that's been out so far is kind of like stories that are in between. Like so those spots where you might have some downtime in the movie. So like one of them is Princess Leia, R2-D2, and Chewbacca on Hoth. So obviously they were there for a little while beforehand, right? Like there was some things that could have happened there. So this is kind of like a story that could have taken place there, but wasn't necessarily any part of any of the movie universe.
Right.
So, but I mean, that's really cool. Like it's just fun to see these little kind of things that, who these people could have been, who they can be still, like for some of the ones that are still continued characters that are going on. And I just really think that's awesome.
Yeah, it looks cool. I like it. I'm going to have to check it out.
You better check it out.
I'll check it out with sound.
It's going to take all of 15 minutes of your life.
It really is. I just saw the length of that. That's amazing.
You probably could have watched the whole thing in the time that I've been talking about this. Anyway.
So speaking of females in this universe, not in general, but like not in our universe, but in the actual
definitely not.
Comic, sci-fi, fantasy realm.
Oh, okay.
Captain Marvel this week released. They didn't release anything, trailer or anything. They didn't talk about that. But what they did state was they're going to do a team 'em up, and I say team 'em up, but John,
I refuse to say team up because it's not.
You think it's like a cameo situation?
I don't think it's a cameo situation. I just think it's like, hey, here's this person, just like he was in Civil War. I think that's about the most we will get.
I don't know. Maybe okay. Well, let me finish this statement so you know what I'm talking about. Nick Fury is going to be coming back with in Captain Marvel, so they're bringing him back as a character to I don't know what, but he's definitely going to be there. But I feel like maybe he'll be a role, not like a cameo role, like a quick in and out, but maybe like the way Tony Stark was for Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've seen him in all the trailers. And we'll talk about it later on also, but really, he's not the main focal point, but he's definitely there as a presence. A presence is felt.
I mean, he will be there, period. That's all we know. Like, that's all anybody has confirmed is that, or even what it seems like to be a quote-unquote confirmation, because even then it doesn't look like anything has been officially confirmed by the Marvel Studios side of things that he will be in the movie, period. So whether it's a cameo, whether it's a 2-minute spot, whether it's getting toward what Tony Stark did in Iron Man, or going all the way through to how he was in Civil War, we don't know yet. But my guess is that at most he would be something like in Civil War, and really something to do with kind of what we've been talking about so far. Like it would suck to have this movie titled Captain Marvel be the film coming out that's going to feature a female lead, it's going to be focused around a female superhero, and then have her team up with a dude for the whole movie. Like that just seems stupid to me. Like I don't think they could do that.
Yeah. What if in the first 10 minutes she just like rips him in half?
That'd be
like
hilarious.
those is like one way.
Yes. And I say that would be hilarious
and
because
then Anna Paquin comes out of nowhere, takes her energy, and then flies off as Rogue, as we know her in the 90s.
Yep. That would be crazy. That would be insane.
Segues right into X-Men Dark
Don't
Phoenix.
you dare.
They've been plotting this for I don't know how long.
Somebody would be throwing a fit.
Kevin Feige comes out. He's actually with Hydra. You know, he's been that way the entire
Captain
way.
America, get up.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God!
Damn
Look,
it.
I said it'd be hilarious to see Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury ripped in half, because I guarantee within a few months we'd have Samuel L. Jackson coming out and being like, "Well, he's probably not dead. I mean, think of the technology they have in the Marvel universe."
Yep. He's gonna come out on Agent of Shield now.
Yep. I love it.
Yep.
Well, that's a great idea. Anyway.
Yeah. So sticking with that, I guess, as we venture into Marvel world, Marvel news, some few things that come out. Saw that Doctor Strange was fighting some random villain in some behind-the-scenes shots. What do you think, man? Did you see that? I mean, they've been posting a lot of pictures, and they've been doing that a lot lately. And I think that's just like that's just the way of the world now. Directors, actors, I was going to say shooting them up, just just releasing all these random shots that are happening. But it looks like these images were caught by some like a source, like just kind of taking a peek inside the world.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of those people that take like set photos. They'll do their best to try to get on sets or around the sets in places that they are allowed, and then just sneak a bunch of photos.
Yeah.
I mean, you can clearly see Benedict Cumberbatch as his role with Doctor Strange, and then the person next to him, it looks like it's somebody in a CGI suit getup.
Yeah.
And people have assumed that it might be Ebony Maw as the person that is supposed to be. So in the CGI suit, because the CGI suit apparently has something that reads E.B. Maw. So everybody's kind of like, E.B. Maw.
Sure.
Who could that be? Thanos associate, somebody who's been known to be in that universe, somebody who is also a Doctor Strange villain at times that has been able to do something with that character. So it just makes sense. It makes sense for that to be there. So we'll see what happens, man. I mean, it's just cool that it's taking shape. The fact that we're getting set photos, I'm not a huge fan of. But I mean, I like to know that it's out there. I like to know that it's happening. But I'm not a huge fan of like looking and diving and trying to see every single little thing that's happening before the movie comes out. Because I like that element of surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Damn it! I want to talk about Spider-Man so bad.
I know, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
For those that don't know, we're talking about Spider-Man soon-ish.
Super soon.
Maybe not soon enough, but it's coming.
Damn it! Yes. As far as like Ebony Maw is concerned. Like, in the whole grand scheme of things, I'm not familiar with that character.
Me either.
No, okay.
Just the little things that I've read ever since they posted this stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge thing. It's a character who I think has, like, mind control powers. Power of persuasion, actually. Just kind of skimming through a couple of stuff that I had looked at. But, yeah, like, so powers of persuasion that has been able to do things with Doctor Strange as well. I think at one point Thanos requested that Ebony Maw take care of Doctor Strange, basically, to make sure that he can't protect against Thanos coming to take over the Earth.
Oh, wow. Well, he's got Dormammu stuck in that time loop, man.
Right? I mean, I don't know what that would mean. This whole Marvel Infinity War universe or part of it. But, I mean, it's one of those things that, like, I mean, it's cool. Like I said, I just like seeing that it's out there. They can take as many guesses as they want. I don't want to read too far into it. Like, maybe just get familiar with who that character is and what it can bring then to it. But, you know, I'm trying to stay away to not oversaturate myself before this movie comes out, because we're still over a year away. Over a year or at a year?
Yeah. No, we got some time.
We got some time. That's for sure, Eric. We have some time.
If there's anything that we have, it's plenty of time.
May 4th, 2018. Yeah, less than a year, but only slightly. So I'll just stay away for now.
Good.
It's just good enough knowing that.
Right on. Well, even looking at some of the other things that are going on, it's so close yet so far. We got Thor coming up next, Black Panther,
yes,
and then Infinity War.
Yes, yeah. I don't think there's anything else in between.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Believe you me, that's what's going on. But we also have, but on the small screen, we have Defenders coming out.
Yes,
really soon, and then I'm pretty sure Punisher is coming out. I was going to say Big
Yeah.
Punisher, but that's another somebody.
Punisher,
that's a
Jessica
rapist.
Jones too.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's coming out before Infinity War or not, but
Yeah, I don't know. You know what's weird is that, and maybe because I haven't looked hard enough for this, but the Jessica Jones images or Defenders stuff, there really hasn't been a whole lot coming out for Defenders other than the trailer that we got.
Yeah.
Maybe Comic-Con. Comic-Con's super
oh,
close.
dude, yes, it's coming real close.
It's like 2 weeks away, right?
Yeah.
Or next week.
Yeah, 2 weeks next
Yeah.
week. I don't remember.
feel like it's 2 weeks.
I don't know. 20th through the 23rd. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Two
It's coming up.
weeks.
It's coming up super quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited for that.
Dude.
It'll be fun to see all the news coming out. I'm sure there'll be a ton of stuff to go through at that point because I'm sure they'll just release like stuff over and over. Like every day, there's gonna be like 30 things coming out.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I don't know. Should we be... Well, because it goes from... What does it go? Friday to Sunday?
Yes.
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 Yes. Maybe we should
yeah,
record
Sunday,
later so that we get all the things.
You're trying to make my life more difficult.
I try to, man.
Thursday through Sunday.
Maybe just like take that Sunday off and not do anything, and then we'll record so we can get every last drip, or not. I mean, it's your world. just a squirrel, you know.
I mean, we'll have plenty of stuff to make even 2 episodes of it, so we can cover like Thursday, Friday stuff.
Okay.
You know, 1 week, and then the next week we can cover Saturday, Sunday stuff.
Okay.
Sound like a plan
I can
to
see
you?
that.
Okay.
That sounds like a plan.
All right.
We'll split it
I
up.
appreciate that.
You're welcome. So,
Anyway, will Jeremy Renner be there now with his broken arms?
yes, he could be. I don't know. So this is silly. This is just damn silly. So with all the shenanigans that are going on with Avengers and like how action packed that is, like he's totally cool. And then he goes and does this comedy. What's it called?
Tag? I think it is.
Yeah. So Jeremy Renner does this Tag movie and breaks both of his arms. So, like, what the hell, man? What the hell are you doing?
Bad luck, man.
Damn. Now, I wonder if he like tripped or someone grabbed him too violently, or I don't understand. Like he just said it was a.
He said it was a stunt, so I mean, it had to have been
Was he
during a
doing
stunt.
backflips?
I have no idea.
Who knows? Handstands, maybe. He was trying to do handstand push-ups like Jackie Chan in Super Cop. It's a deep cut.
It's so bad.
Super cut. Super Cop. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's kind of crazy.
So yeah, I mean, if he's showing up in Infinity War now, he's gonna have, I'm sure, a few weeks that he's gonna have to take off from that. to
Oh, for
be able to
sure.
do things.
For sure.
Yeah, but anyway, quick blurb. I don't want to spend
Yeah.
too much time on that.
No.
Non-news.
Yeah. What we will talk about is James Gunn. Well, wait a minute. I think I
Yes.
put the wrong story in there.
No, James Gunn, like talking about how the Marvel characters will all understand each other in Infinity War.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously all the Guardians of the Galaxy understand each other in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, except for Groot. Nobody apparently can understand Groot except
What
for
do you-
Rocket.
Well, no, and then at the end of
yeah.
Volume 2, so could Peter.
Yes. So
Star-Lord.
Yes.
Yep.
So either one of two things. Either he's learning his language,
Yeah.
or 2, he's had his language added to the chip that helps him translate stuff in his head.
Or maybe he just has that fish that he put in his ear.
No, that's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, my friend.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I forgot what that fish is called. The translator fish or something?
I thought it was something near or something close to Babel-on.
That sounds
Babel
all right.
fish.
The Babel fish. That's
Yes,
right.
dude.
I wasn't even close.
I didn't even have to look that one up.
Yeah, I know, man. Good job. So cool.
Anyway, yeah. So apparently they have translators in the Marvel universe. Star-Lord has one. Peter Quill has one installed in his neck that helps with the translation of things so that they can be understood with each other. So like all the Guardians of the Galaxy. So how is that then going to help them understand all the people of Earth? Mm-hmm. Will they be able to talk to each other? Will the Avengers be able to understand them? Maybe the Guardians of the Galaxy will understand the Avengers. Maybe it's all going to go through Peter Quill. Who knows? But they've confirmed that that it is going to be a little bit of a challenge at least, and it is going to be addressed in the movie, or at least James Gunn says that it's going to be addressed in the movie in Infinity
I wonder,
War.
do they have James Gunn on as a producer for Infinity War?
I don't know, man, because he comes out and talks a lot about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's producing, consultant, something.
Yeah.
You'd figure that everybody who has a significant piece of the Marvel Universe side still is coming in and doing something for this movie.
Yeah.
It just seems reasonable for that to happen, or to have that expectation. So, I mean, the Russo brothers are directing. Who else has significant stake in this thing so far, besides James Gunn?
Everybody. No, well, actually, the only people that really have spoken out about it is really Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers and James Gunn. So, I don't know. Not that I've seen, but, I mean, shit. We could be missing something.
Yeah, I mean, maybe everyone else is just not as outspoken about it. Maybe they just, kind of taking a back seat, but they're still consulting or talking about it, or I'm trying to think of the word here because I want to say colluding, but that doesn't sound appropriate.
Well, I guess if you want to.
Behind the scenes. I mean, whatever they're doing behind the scenes, they might all be working together. It might just be, those three key components of the Russo brothers, the James Gunn side and Kevin Feige. But I mean, it's kind of crazy that he's come out and said a lot more than I think just about anybody else has, even including the Russo brothers. So maybe he's like the face of this three-headed dragon.
Could be. That'd be amazing. That would be
He's
amazing.
the one that talks. He's the one in the middle.
Yeah. Moving on. I wanted to throw this next story in here because two things. It serves two purposes. One, of course, this is some behind-the-scenes look at Amber Heard playing Mera. And this is some scenes coming out of
Aquaman.
Yeah. So I thought it was
Definitely
reshoots at first,
Aquaman.
but yeah, it's definitely Aquaman. But her look very wet, and it's some action that they were shooting in Australia. She's walking up to some drunk dude, blows his beer in his face. I guess that's her water power, beer blowing. But it looks cool. Just like a quick look at the into that. But also, I want everybody to take note in this article. It has a link to her Twitter page, and it's a picture of her with James Wan and Jason Momoa. But if you look at her red hair, that's kind of the red hair that they should have gone with for the Inhumans. Like, it's not fake. Looks amazing. Inhumans, they just piss me off. Like,
Yeah.
it's just upsetting.
Well, what if they saw this picture and were like, we can't have that hair. That is too much. It's too close. Let's just make it flat and ugly.
Yeah.
So that way we're not exactly the same.
I don't
Which
think
is
so.
dumb.
Yeah.
Which
is dumb of y'all
dumb.
Inhumans. But we'll see. Maybe it's amazing. Maybe they fix your hair
It's not
going
to be amazing.
Okay.
Maybe they'll fix it in post. You're right. It
Yeah.
could be. I doubt it. But it could be.
So,
Yeah, dude. It's funny that, somebody over here on the DC side who's not a character or at least that I know of, known for having any kind of hair power or magical hair, and hair's way better than Medusa.
Actually, I think that's just her natural hair. I think it's just,
That's a lie.
it can't be natural now.
No.
Maybe she's born
It's
with
too
it.
good.
But yeah, dude, I just wanted to kind of bring that up. But the video's cool, just behind the scenes of Aquaman. So I'm glad that they're continuing that on. Hopefully it's good. We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know. Aquaman. I think I'm excited to see Jason Momoa and stuff. He seems like a cool dude. Maybe like a bros bro.
A bros, bro.
Yeah. Not a man's man, but a bros bro.
But the only thing I don't like is the fact that the stories that come out a while ago of him like showing up drunk to the set and having to take days off, like
for him to recover.
Yeah. Like after I heard that, I was like, oh, it's kind of he's like a regular dude. And the more I think about it, I'm like, dude, that's like a jackass move. Like if somebody were to do that at work for me, like I'm having to pick up your slack because you got too drunk the night before. Nah.
Yeah.
Not having it.
Well, I think our work is a little bit different than his.
Well, that's
work.
very true.
Yeah.
But
maybe they lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Who knows? Because they couldn't film. But, I mean, that's not for us to judge. Well, we can judge, but,
Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
Let's talk about these quick
these quick vids.
Quick vids.
Yeah. I just wanted to put this in there because I thought it was done really well. It has nothing to do with nothing other than if BVS was done in the 90s, Batman v Superman, recut with Bruce Willis as Batman, John Cusack as Superman, and Jennifer Connelly as Lois Lane. I thought that would be amazing.
Yeah.
It looks really good. Some of the parts are super cheesy, but I mean, I think as far as it being actually thought of like maybe being set in the 90s, I think it was done pretty well.
Yeah. If it had been in the 90s, great, awesome. It would have been a fun movie, I'm sure, for the time when we didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But now that we have everything else,
Actually, that would have blown everything else out of the water because around that time we were getting Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. So, from somebody who didn't even read the comics or look at them, or from Joel Schumacher, who's like, I knew they were comics. I just wanted to make them comic-y.
It was more based off of the cartoon than anything else.
Yeah. I think he even came out and apologized for him. Yeah. So that's awesome. But, dude, you showed me this trailer earlier, and that movie looks amazing.
Dude. Okay, so we're looking at things historically and and it's funny, dude, because I've watched a couple of documentaries not too long ago about what actually happened when War of the Worlds first came out and played on the radio. Like, and it's so funny, dude. Like, there's like recanting of people and like what they were doing and the kind of stuff that like it just creeped everybody the hell out. So one of the first, like, I don't know, from what I've seen and from what I can tell and kind of looking at stuff, one of the first broadcast pieces of science fiction, one that was really well done and done in a different way and really took everybody by surprise, so much so because they thought it was real. And dude, have you ever seen any of this stuff or documentaries from the War of the Worlds?
I've only seen the movies.
The War of the World movies? Okay, that's terrible. Not that those movies are terrible, but I would suggest, like, maybe I'll see if I can find a link to some of the stuff, because I think might be one or two on Netflix that I would suggest, man, checking out if you get a chance to. I'll see if I can find them, and I'll put them in the description if I can find them. So keep an eye out there if you want to check those out. But it's really crazy, man. Like how he developed it. So Orson Welles was a playwright, like doing radio dramas, and really wanted to do something that was a little different, a little bit more engaging, and something that's outside of the box of how they wanted to do it. So the problem is that people didn't realize that that's what it was. People, channel surfing, if you missed the announcement to begin with, that it was a drama, a fictional piece. What happened is that since he wanted something more exciting and engaging rather than just a regular other, radio drama of like something being played out, he loved the way that news came across on the radio. He just felt that was always way more exciting, way more engaging. It had something to it, like a snappiness and stuff like that. So he was like, what if we did this fictional story in the form of a newscast? Like, so news bits coming through, and that's what's telling the story and going through it. But if people missed the announcement that it was a story, everybody thought it was just news because it sounded just like it.
Yeah, because I think I saw a documentary on how it started. And it basically starts just like, hey, just to let you know, here's the top of the hour. This video play is going to start, and stay tuned for Orson Welles. They had something, but it was so brief. But people like channel surfed all the time on the radio, like they do with us, like the way we do now, so I bet a lot of people missed it. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It apparently caused like mayhem, like, all the 911 lines, so like the emergency numbers were all like backed up because people were calling their local police stations, like asking what was going on, seeing what was true, when it was coming to them, like letting them know what they were hearing on the radio to give them pre-warning for them to be ready. There was reports of, the people were calling the station to get more information because apparently the station would have known, I guess, some of that info, and then calling to report what was going on and seeing what was happening, but it caused crazy mayhem back in the day. So Brave New Jersey is the name of the movie. It looks really cool. It's it's not a documentary for this time around. It's kind of like a movie, a fictional movie of how things would have played out around that time and things that might have happened around then. But I mean, I just think it's cool, man, to really see and put yourself in that time frame, in that period, and watch something play out because of all this mayhem that was caused by the radio play that happened that day. So, dude, I'm really excited for that movie. It looks funny. I just think overall, like, it's a cool historical piece from something that was based off of science fiction way back in the day.
Yeah, it looks good. I'll check it out probably when it comes to video. I don't think it's just something we're not going to see it when it comes out. But
I mean, I might, just because I'm super excited about this and I love the whole telling and what happened that day for War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Obviously, as you can tell, as I'm sitting here ranting about it
a little bit.
But I might watch this in theater. If I do, I'll talk about it. If not, well, I'm sure I'll watch it when it comes out on video. Like 100% sure that I'll definitely check out this movie just because it's it's cool. It just seems like a great idea, like to really get in those shoes of what happened back in the day.
I think so too. I think it looks cool.
Awesome.
But I'm not.
You're more excited for this other thing.
I'm more excited for this Labyrinth retelling, and I say that just to get everybody else excited about it. It's not that. It's called Dave Makes a Maze, and the trailer just came out a little while ago. But it looks awesome, and I thought you would be more excited about it because it says a line in there I know you enjoy. It's about a guy who just makes a cardboard like fort, and it's bigger on the inside, and
so it's like a TARDIS.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But it's a huge like labyrinth that he's created, and he's lost in it, and I guess he's telling his wife like, I'm lost, but don't come in, don't try to find me. I don't want you to get lost either. Super intricate, like just everything that he's made, like he's really just wasting his time, like making all these things.
Yeah.
But it looks amazing. Like all the birds, all like the booby traps that are set are all made out of cardboard. So it looks like ever seen Be Kind Rewind? Like all the Swedish trailers, how they're all cardboard cutouts and stuff like that. That's exactly how this looks. It looks amazing. I even think like there's a part where somebody gets cut and like their blood shoots out, but it's not their blood. It's like it looks like cardboard pieces, like red cardboard pieces that like shoot out. It looks crazy. It looks fun. So just thought if you're interested, check it out.
Yeah, it looks cool, man. Like definitely check out that trailer. I enjoyed it. Like it looked fun to me. Probably something that I wouldn't go to see in theaters, but
yeah.
Are you going to go check it out in theaters?
Probably not.
Okay.
I mean, it'll probably come out on limited release anyway. It looks like it's a pretty indie flick. But yeah, just to put it out there on everybody's radar.
Gotta love those indie flicks.
Yeah, but now we're talking about the heavy hitters. So a couple things came out. John is going to talk at us for a little bit because even though I wanted to see it, I had not seen it yet. Baby Driver, man.
For either one of these two things. Because let me tell you. Oh, there's two things in there if you haven't read along.
I saw Fate of the Furious in there as well.
Okay, because this is what happened. Last week, I'm sitting there talking to my wife, having a good conversation.
Right on.
And we decided we needed to go watch Baby Driver. Because, hey, it's Edgar Wright. He's probably the director I own most movies of, like that are actually in my collection that I can watch whenever I want.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, Edgar Wright, a movie about action and driving, which is a little bit outside of our wheelhouse just because it is just that.
But you like fantasy movies because obviously you like Fast and the Furious?
Yes, right? It's definitely within the fantasy realm. So, dude, we want to go watch this movie.
Right.
First of all, yes, I know, outside of our realm. I've already said it. I'll say it again. But somebody else described it as an action musical.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It is exactly an action musical.
That's awesome.
It's freaking good, dude. Like, it was... it's a really great movie.
The
I don't want to spend
like
too much
30
time on
songs, which is crazy.
Dude, 32 songs,
I
think? It's 30 plus.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, insane. But it really is just like it's music from beginning to end. It's a lot of... just going along with the beats of the music the entire movie. It's not like there's a little bit of music or things are kind of set to music. It's like every single little piece of this movie is set to music.
Yeah.
And it's like not just like, hey, this is the song that was playing. This is what we were thinking about. The lines, the beats, the steps, the motions, the driving, the tire screeches, the gunshots, the explosions, everything is on the beat of the music.
That's awesome.
Like, I was like, dude, it was amazing. It was amazing. If you enjoy that kind of stuff, if you enjoy action movies, because it is a great action movie just on its own. But if you also like music or even musicals, but maybe not so much just the singing,
Yeah.
because it's all done just the people singing there in the actual song. There's no like they just break out in a song or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's very different when you say musical than the traditional musical type stuff, but everything is set to music. And so if you enjoy music, this will be cool, especially a bunch of like obscure type stuff, a little bit more like I guess like more 80s, 90s. Even they do some more modern stuff as well too, but and more than just a certain type also, because you get a little bit of each genre, even though there is a lot of kind of I guess rock and kind of punk style stuff as well.
It's a rock opera.
It really is.
Yeah.
Without the product singing.
Nice.
But yeah, dude, I really, really enjoy the movie. Great driving scenes, man. If you're a fan of driving movies, it was awesome. We went to go watch it at the Alamo Drafthouse. And if you're familiar with the Alamo Drafthouse, they usually play goofy videos, weird, obscure videos that they've collected about the subject that the movie is, and then play that before the movie. This time, it looks like the Drafthouse themselves did a Q&A with Edgar Wright. So they played that before. And part of the Q&A, a lot of the part of the Q&A was talking about driving movies. So they did like a top 5 of like car crashes in movies, top 5 driving movies overall, best action sequence within those type of movies. They just had a bunch of different stuff that they were talking about. And it was cool to see all that beforehand because it really puts you in the mood of the movie. And then you can see what influence those movies had on his movie. And it was really freaking cool.
Yeah.
And you really see it, man. And some of those driving scenes, it's amazing. Polar opposite to Fate of the Furious.
Oh.
Fate of the Furious. Okay, so after we went home,
like I
needed more driving stuff.
Obviously,
I was already a menace on the road on the way home. Fate of the Furious had come out like I don't know. We didn't buy it that same day. It wasn't like we watched it like back to back exactly, but within a couple of days, I was watching Fate of the Furious as well. And, dude, that one is crazy, over the top action. Things that cars should not be doing, that it's really almost impossible unless you rig them the right way for them to do. That's all that was going on in that movie, which is what you've come to expect from, like, it delivered on every single point, but the delivery that it had was meeting every single expectation about the Fast and Furious movies, because it was just outrageous, over the top, super plot holy, like bad acting in a lot of places, like things that just do not make sense for it to be a feasible thing, but some really cool, crazy, over the top action stuff as well. Like so they jump a car over a submarine, then a missile is chasing the car that then explodes into the submarine. And the car ends up doing like a 180 spin as it's going over the submarine because of the way that explosion was. It's freaking insane, right? Like crazy over the top stuff. That was done practically, by the way. So like there's digital effects on it, but they did do the actual stunt.
So they actually got hit by a missile?
No, they didn't get hit by a missile. That was the special effects part of it. But they actually jumped the car, rigged it with the cable to do a 180-degree turn in the air. Oh. So like, and that's freaking insane, dude. Like, who the hell does that kind of stuff? Like Fast and Furious movies. That's who does it, and that's part of the fun of watching that movie. Like, I'm telling you, I leave whenever I go to the theater to watch those movies. I feel like I smell like octane and sweat. And
I'm pretty sure you do. It's just in your blood. Insane.
So like watching it at home too, man. Like we had the volume turned up to like 30, which is like the max that our system goes. So it was like it's awesome, it's fun, it's a good time, but it's not something that's going to be super enlightening, right?
Yeah, oh no, of course not.
Baby Driver is the opposite in the fact that it has like a good plot. It's got stuff that moves forward. It's got a cool little story that goes along with it, and then you get the music aspect of it that goes along with everything. But the scenes in there that are the driving scenes, the exact opposite of what Fate of the Furious is, where Fate of the Furious is like everything super over the top, everything crazy and stuff that could not be done practically or in a feasible way where you'd think, oh, this is real world stuff. Baby Driver had a lot of that. Like, it's just like really good driving on the streets of Chicago.
Yeah, no. I think so.
Is that where it was filmed? I don't know.
Maybe.
It said
You're asking me. I haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
Damn it! I don't remember what city it's in.
Come
But whatever
on.
city it's based off of.
Generic
is it New
city,
York?
USA.
I don't know where it's at, and I feel terrible now. I should have looked that up beforehand.
No, it's okay.
But like, it really is like you put a good driver in the middle of the city and tell him, hey, get out of there in the craziest fashion you can. This is what you get, and this is what you would get, and in a real life, real world situation. Some of the stuff is a little crazy, but nothing that's so insane that it's completely not believable, like the Fate of the Furious stuff.
So all real world stuff.
All real world stuff. Go watch the movie, Eric. I know you want to. There's not going to be any time, man. There's so much stuff coming out like so quickly. You need to hit this up.
I know.
ASAP as possible.
I know. I really want to. Well, while you were doing that, I was actually starting to watch Castlevania on Netflix, which just dropped the same day as Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
Peter Spider-Man of New York, runs a deli. Actually, that's funny because he really enjoys sandwiches from that deli. Yeah, dude. So far, Netflix has again started this. I don't know, man. It just feels like so far. I don't know. And here's the thing: Castlevania, yes, amazing. I remember playing it a bunch, but I never got that far in the game.
Yeah,
I remember like ditching it before I even got to fight Dracula at the end, or So I was just like, damn it, like I just dipped out.
Yeah,
but so far it's an interesting take on it. I think I don't know how true to life it is. I don't know. From the first episode, looks good. I gotta watch more, of course. But
yeah.
But so far, it's interesting. I dig it so far.
Cool, man. I know it's it's kind of in an anime style.
Yes.
I don't know if it's actually done in Japan, but like, what kind of style is it? Like, what kind of style is the animation?
It does look like Ghost in the Shell, like X-Men, like the X-Men anime series, kind of like that.
So a little more traditional, right? Okay,
yeah.
so that's what it looked like to me from the preview, but the preview I felt didn't show a whole lot because it was mostly about the Nintendo when the game being put into the Nintendo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was just kind of curious about how it looked.
Yeah, we'll throw the whole trailer on there. I think the legitimate trailer, not just the teaser one. But I think it looks cool, and this will show you like a little bit more. Basically, he takes a wife, she gets killed, and that's like within the first 5 minutes. And
that's crazy.
And like vengeance is had.
Oh my god!
So it's pretty legit. Like I dig it.
Cool.
But yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the main course.
Yes.
Before this episode gets stupid long.
Yeah, because it's already stupid.
It's already very long. So before the stupid part of it, stupid long. Not that Spider-Man was stupid, because Spider-Man: Homecoming is the best Spider-Man movie I think we've had in the modern era.
Oh my god.
What do you think? Yes.
Yes.
It's tough,
so
right?
Did you want to do?
There's so many other ones.
Yeah.
Like you're putting it number 1 out of 6.
Yeah. Did you want to put it? Did you want to go spoilers? No spoilers?
Yes, of course we're doing that. We're doing non-spoilers first, Eric.
Okay.
Not spoilers first.
Spoilers, non-spoilers.
Yes.
So we're gonna go full spoilers first.
No.
And then come back.
No. So overall, what do you think of the movie?
Overall, shot well, action's good, hilarity throughout. It feels like an honest, because it starts like there's some points where you feel like it's gonna start going like Avengers-y and get like too large, but it really is like it feels like an Ant-Man movie in the way that it's like boots on the ground. It's small, not Ant-Man small. Mm-hmm, there you go. But
not punny.
Not trying to be punny there. It's ants, spiders. They're tiny insects.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anyway, no, it feels just like it's just like a home movie. It feels like it's really close, really intimate. The action, the story, like everything that's going on, it just feels good.
Yeah.
It just feels right.
Well, it's cool, and this is not giving too much away the movie, so I feel this is non-spoiler territory. But they make a good point of doing that throughout the movie. That it's, hey, your home. In the trailer, even they say it like your home is New York. This is your stand. This is where you stick to. This is where everything is, and they do a good job of that in the movie overall. Like that's his main concern. Is not they're not fighting things on a global scale. They're not saving the Earth. They're not doing all these kind of crazy antics overall. In space or the universe, they're very much staying in the New York area. The furthest they venture out to is Washington, D.C., which, of course, we've also seen in the trailers.
Yeah.
Because they're at the Washington Monument. But it takes place in those two locations, and the consequences are for those locations. So I thought that was pretty cool about it. And I think we need the variation of it. We need the things that are happening with Guardians of the Galaxy and having universal overall consequences. You need the world, changing and saving and everything else that's going on in the Avengers movies. And then this kind of, brings it down a scale, like you said, with Ant-Man. Like Ant-Man is about, one family really, and one corporation and how it's affecting them and the things that they've built up and them personally. And this, kind of same thing where it's more personal for what Peter Parker is, and the consequences are all set around his city and the things that are going on there. So that was really, really cool. Like I did appreciate that about it. Even though it's fun to see the other stuff and super fun to see some of the other stuff, but this was really cool. Like I really enjoyed that part of it. And yeah, dude, funny, man. Like that was one of the things that I really enjoyed about it is that the comic beats. There was a lot of comic beats, but I don't remember a joke not landing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
trying to think of one.
Nope, not gonna happen.
Nope, can't think of one.
Yeah.
It was pretty legit. Like the whole movie from start to end. Really, like the start to very, very end, the last end credit scene was pretty legit.
Dude, I thought it was hilarious. I know some people were really upset about it. I thought it was really funny.
I know at least one person who was.
There's also, okay, so if you haven't watched the movie, we're going to get into spoilers. I don't think we can talk a whole lot about non-spoiler stuff, and we really want to get into the so-called meat and potatoes about this, so we'll move on into that.
We're getting into the thick of it.
If you haven't watched the movie, real quick, just watch out for the mascot. Be on the lookout for the mascot. That's all I'm going to say. It's not spoilery. Just keep an eye out. Because and tweet at us if you spot the mascot. Because I want to know. I just want to throw that out into the world. Okay. Yeah. Spoilers?
Spoiler it up.
Spoilering it up, dude.
Okay. From Go, I thought it was amazing that they posted the Sony logo for so freaking long. It felt like it was just like, everybody, this is Sony. Huge on the screen. And it would like glimmered for like a few seconds. And it was like, all right. Fade out, like,
and that's funny, man. Because like I don't know. I don't recall ever seeing that particular Sony logo in a movie. Like I every time it's done by Sony, like they'll either do the Sony Pictures logo and then it's just the Sony Pictures logo and then gone, or if it's Columbia, like they'll show the Columbia logo and then it's gone. But this one was like Sony, like just Sony.
Yeah.
No pictures, no nothing, just Sony.
Yeah.
Give you that glimmer, give you that fade out. Like,
yeah, it's just like somebody just like pushing their junk into your face and being like, here it is.
How do you
Look
like
at
that?
it. No, I don't want to. Just get it out of my. What are you doing? Just stop. Not that that's happened, but I'm just saying. And then it jumps right into like the kind of setting the scene right after the Avengers, their first fight against the Chitauri, and it's the cleanup crew, the damage control crew, coming in, cleaning up, and really setting the stage for for everything to come, giving everybody that oomph they need, really fighting and making it us versus them, the haves versus the have-nots.
Yes.
And that's exactly what the movie's setting up. So I thought it was amazing. The Marvel logo that it cuts to right to after that, dude.
Yeah.
And how they incorporated the Spider-Man theme song from
Yeah.
the 60s. Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I really liked that.
When I heard, because they dropped that Instagram video. Is it Instagram video? Twitter video. I don't remember where it was, but they posted that a little while ago. We actually talked about it here on the show, but that they were doing a modern version, or like they kind of, it seemed like they were updating that. And my guess was that it was going to be like as soon as the end credits started rolling, you had said that they were going to play it at the beginning, or it was going to play within the thing. So you were a lot closer. The fact that it was
a lot closer than the end. Yes.
Yeah. The mine was like way off. I don't know. That was my best guess and my most educated guess, I guess, at the time. But I never would have thought that they would have done it for the overall Marvel logo right at the beginning. And I didn't think they were even going to play that, because after we got the Sony logo that was all up in your face, they had the Columbia Pictures logo. A Sony company all across it, and I was like, okay, cool, like I guess this is the route we're going. And then they had the Marvel logo then after a couple of things, and I was like, dude, that's awesome, that's cool, like it's letting you know that it is part of the same universe and encompassing it. And then, dude, great touch playing that the theme on there. And it's almost like they took the style of the normal Marvel theme, and then incorporated it with that 60s Spider-Man theme song, and then boom, like outbirthed this theme that they're playing over it. And I thought it was really cool, man. I really enjoyed that. That was awesome. Set the tone for sure.
Faux show. So let's story wise.
Dude, everything was so great. I loved the friend is amazing. Like Ned. What's the actor's name? I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know the proper pronunciation. But his friend Ned, played by Jacob Babel-on, like, dude, freaking, like, he was good comedy beats. Man, he can play the everyman, I guess. Like, the pseudo of like, dude, if you had a friend who became a superhero, I think most of us would act in most situations like Ned does. Oh,
hell yeah. Like there's no...
One of the things that made me laugh the most, like I was like dying. I was like sitting there, like I'm literally covering my face up because I didn't want to like be screeching in the movie theater. And I mean, we've gotten into spoiler territory, so I'm sorry if you haven't seen it. I don't know why you're still listening. Yeah. But when he calls out to Liz, because Liz is sitting in the bleachers talking about how like she thinks Spider-Man might be like hot, or that's her favorite, even though that they don't know what they look like. And he's like, Peter knows Spider-Man. I was dying, dude. I was laughing so hard. But yeah, man, like that's exactly what I like. If you told me, oh, I'm a superhero by night, I'd be like, Eric, dude. The second I heard somebody talking about it, I'd be like, Eric knows him. Eric knows who he is. But I think, and that's kind of the point, I think, a lot of times for the friends or, people who know who the hero is, to kind of have friends that they, that play the everyman, that play who we could see ourselves being, even though sometimes we can't see ourselves or maybe even would like to see ourselves as the hero or superhero. All of us can put ourselves in the shoes of most friends or acquaintances of them. So I think that's kind of the goal. That's the vehicle that he provides. And but he played it so well, man. Like, it was so good.
Really, really well done, man. Like I think all the beats were played really well. All the kids like actually look like kids. Like they really didn't do them up too much.
I really appreciated that. Like it's like, and everybody, I'm young enough, and it seems like I think most of them, when we'll look at the actors and who they were, I think most of them are still in their teens. Like, I mean, it might be 18, 19, but that's still a technical teenager. Like, they're still in that era that they can play those kind of things and play right, get a lot closer to that. They have a couple of, and this is nothing against Tom Holland. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm sorry for pointing this out, but they have close-ups of Tom Holland's face, and you can tell he's still got like acne going on. He's got like little the kid skin,
still has a fresh face.
Exactly. Like, and that helps so much because, dude, somebody like Andrew Garfield, as much as I love Andrew Garfield, I remember seeing him play an older kid, somebody who's supposed to be 18, 19 in Doctor Who, like 4 years before he was ever cast as Spider-Man, So it's like, dude, like, how can you...
I was going to say the same thing for the Social Network. Like, he looked super young in the Social Network, but by the time he got to Spider-Man, he looked seasoned. Like, he was just like, whoa.
He's fully baked.
Yeah. He's overdone, for sure. But going back to some of the story stuff, What'd you think of like the big reveals that were had? Like, did you see? Well, they never even name him Vulture, but you know it's Vulture.
Yes.
Michael Keaton as Liz's dad. Did you see that part coming?
No, that was like, okay, so kind of overall, like when we kind of start getting into that territory, I don't know, because I didn't watch any of the previews like after the ones that I told you about. Like, right, I stopped like at the first or the second full length trailer. I think was the last one I watched. So for me, having stayed away from that. And what I thought was very, very spoilery from those trailers, like up through the second, ended up being not as spoilery as I had thought it was going to be. That didn't ruin any of the actual reveals and any things that were going on. And dude, I think they did a great job keeping that a secret because I was really scared that all the
beats were going to be seen.
Well, yeah, like everything that could have been a surprise was already spoiled by a trailer. Yeah. And I mean, maybe I just missed it and maybe I got lucky, but it doesn't seem like that's the case because I know a lot of other people who were like, what the freak? Like, and everyone that I've talked to genuinely was caught off guard with him being like, with the Vulture and the character being Liz's dad. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Didn't see it coming. Yeah. Definitely not.
When he opened that door and I saw Michael Keaton's face, I was like, oh, shit, it's going down now.
I thought it was just like he figured it out. He knows. And then he was like, oh, hey, man.
You're like the second person I've heard say that. Like, my friend Matt also, like, he called me after he watched the movie and he was like, how did he figure out that it was Peter Parker? And how did he figure out that that's the girl he liked? And then how do you figure out where she lives? And he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, shit. Damn. That was good. See what other thing was good.
That was also a great scene, I think, overall. Like they did a great job playing up the tension of like.
I think some of the big criticisms that I've heard. Let me say it again. Some of the biggest criticisms that I've heard are the whole timeline thing because we got 2008, I believe, when I think the first Iron Man came out. Okay, and then I think a couple years later, the events of the Avengers. Yeah. And then it says 8 years later, which is supposed to be when, like, after Civil War happens. Yeah. And they even throw that joke in there, which is amazing.
Which one?
They're showing the Captain America videos and.
Oh yes.
and because like Captain America is like the gym teacher showing like all these Captain America videos, how staying in fitness is the way to be, and he's just like. Listen to my friend Captain America. Well, he's I'm pretty sure he's a war criminal now, but but
we gotta show these things.
We still gotta show these things.
So great. No, even then, like Captain America is like he's like, and you're gonna be instructed by my friend here, your teacher, and then he points to his right, and the teacher's standing on the left. Like
he's just like, hey, Hannibal Buress, man, he has that. He has that so chill comedy about him. But it's good, dude. It's good.
Well, kind of going back, like, okay, so what the timeline they didn't think it lined up properly or what?
Yeah, I think that's the thing of like trying to see like where this is because Avengers home base remade after everything 8 years, like where's this at? Because they were talking about the Sokovia Accords, they were talking about Peter finds like one of the Ultron heads, in one of the cases that he's looking through, but it just the timelines are saying they don't match up right. But I was like,
no, dude.
I maybe that's just being too like really into it, or just not giving him enough leeway because it's really hard to like fit him in exactly where this needs to go in all this story. Because if we're going,
I mean, to me, it lines up perfectly. Like none of these movies have so far been set into the future, right? Like everything's happening right now. And this is where this 15, is caught up.
If he's 15 then by Iron Man 2, which he says like he was little Peter Parker during Iron Man 2. Yeah. How old would that make him if in 2008? So he has to be really young.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. I think it lines up. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Like, I'm going to give him that one. They can have that one. I don't know if it's true or not.
I mean, that lines up perfectly. Like,
I feel like it lines up.
You take 8 years off of that, and it's, he's
7,
8 years old. That's perfect for that kid. Yeah. Like, I don't know. To me, that argument doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Yeah. I mean, to me, everything lines up. I mean, it's not perfect and exactly set, it miraculously lined up exactly how everything is supposed to be, but I think it lines up more than enough, especially for a fictional world where, timelines can be slightly out of whack. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. What'd you think about the villains?
Great.
Yeah. Poor man's Tom Hardy was in it.
Yes, for like all of 5 seconds.
Got blown away.
Dude, that was awesome. I did not expect that either, because I thought okay, that's who they're making the Shocker. And then when he was gone, I was like, oh,
guess
not the Shocker.
Yeah. So we got the Tinkerer, we got Shocker, we got and Vulture. Which it seems like there's a lot of villains in here, but they do it so damn well.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was a perfect balance.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were supporting casts to each other.
Right.
That, I think, is what helped it. Because it's around one central villain and one central goal for that villain. And everybody else is just kind of supporting that. And that was perfect.
Yeah. Man, they really did it right this time. I feel like. And the Vulture, him as a villain, is threatening enough. And I feel like compared to the other random villains of Marvel's past, like Thor being, the guard to, the Vault being the villain, Loki being the villain for most of the other movies. And, although he's a great villain overall, he's, it was good to see a change of pace. I just think that everything was done really well as far as bringing everybody together. I wanted to say on, what if we talk about a little bit of tidbits?
Well, first of all, let me go back, because I wanted to talk a little bit more about the scene where, he kind of meets up with Vulture at Liz's house.
Okay.
Because one of the things I really like and appreciated about this movie is that, dude, hero and villain meet, and they did such for me, it was a really good job of organically letting Michael Keaton's Vulture character figure out that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Because, it was awkward. He's making it awkward. He's uncomfortable. You can see he's visibly uncomfortable. And, they could have played it off, and they kind of did, he's nervous, taking out his daughter, meeting the father for the first time.
Yeah.
But then it takes that scene of them at the house and the car ride for them to figure out that he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I thought that, dude, such a great reveal. It's boom, piece here, piece here, the little lines that are dropped. Oh, Peter knows Spider-Man. Oh,
he worked for Tony Stark.
At the party, you were there for all of 5 minutes and then disappeared. It's no, I didn't disappear. And then, like you did in Washington. I was dude, just dropping the little hints and then organically, figuring it out without taking a bunch of time. And then also playing it out in a cool way, where you organically get that feeling of things happening.
Yeah.
I really, really appreciated that little bit there.
And I think that's the whole overlining tone of the movie of he is not cool. Peter is not cool of hiding anything. He's
the interrogation scene.
Oh my God. That was the best scene. That was tell me where the weapons are. Well, what's wrong with your voice? He's this is my voice.
It's interrogation mode.
It's no, I've heard your voice before. I know what a girl sounds like. I'm not a girl, I'm a boy, damn it. I'm a man. That is amazing.
Yes.
So, damn it. Yeah, it's a slow, and it's it builds that tension because you're he's figuring it out, he knows. Slowly knowing, you can see the wheels turning in his head. Wait a minute, what? So damn it, yeah. So it was that whole slow burn to the reveal was good. The final action piece, although it wasn't super crazy long, and they didn't draw it out like a 15-minute fight or whatever, like a brawling knock him out. It was really, I thought it was done really well. It was. The climax of the film was done well.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, heck yeah, for sure. Everybody appropriate to their powers, their power set. They didn't try to force anything that wasn't within that. And I thought that was really cool, man. And dude, that's one of the things kind of going into the movie also, because I was very excited to see this, more for the fact that it was a new Spider-Man movie coming out and that it was at least partially done by Marvel, right? I don't know how much influence we're going to have. It was hard to tell beforehand because of all the stuff that was coming out on the Sony side. Everything from dropping way too many trailers and TV spots and oversaturating the market with stuff to every single stupid freaking piece of poster that was coming out.
Yeah.
I like maybe the first one. The first one was the only one that was okay with me.
Yeah.
Or a couple of them actually that was always in the jacket, with the Midtown school blazer for the academic decathlon team.
Yeah.
Great poster, and then after that, it was like terrible poster after terrible poster after terrible poster. So I went in a little nervous of what to expect from this and how it was going to be. But damn it, man.
They pulled it out.
Yes, man. I don't. They did such a great job, and it really caught me off guard. To be honest, I was not expecting something to be that good, and for me to fall in love with it so quickly.
Right.
But, damn it, man, amazing.
Well, let's talk about like the little tidbits that they left behind. We talked about the interrogation scene.
Yes.
Of Daniel Glover's character, who ends up he is the uncle. He drops a throwaway line of, "Hey, I want to help out Spider-Man. I want to help you out. You know, I got a nephew that lives here. You know,
yeah.
I don't want those weapons on the street." Ultimately, he is the uncle of Miles Morales.
Yes.
So, like they stated before previously, they don't know where that storyline is. They feel like it's in this universe somewhere, but it just hasn't been fleshed out yet. So I think that's awesome that they're even just alluding to it, you know, that it's out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Other characters they alluded to, the principal. He was essentially he played one of Avengers in Captain America, like the first Avenger. The principal played. He essentially came back to play his grandson, but he was one of the Howling Commandos.
Yeah.
And you can see in his office, like he has a picture of his grandfather and like
his
all this
quote unquote grandfather.
That
is
'cause it's
himself.
him. Yeah, that's awesome. And like all his medals and stuff. So I thought that was super cool. The return of Pepper Potts, man. Gwyneth Paltrow reprising her role, coming back. I thought that was really cool. I didn't see that coming either. I thought after everything was said and done, especially about what she was talking about in the past, maybe that was just to kind of throw everybody scent off the trail, you know.
Yeah.
You know. But I thought that was super cool. What else was going on?
Well, that's the same scene that they reveal the Iron Spider suit.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, and I guess maybe that's its like first phase because it was really closely looking to what was seen in the comic Civil War when he does get the Iron Spider suit. So maybe that's the first iteration of, well, because we're like on Mark 53 or 77 of whatever of the Spider-Man suits or of the Iron Man suits. So I'm pretty sure it'll evolve into the one where we have the multiple legs coming out.
Yeah.
So that'd be pretty cool to see in the next coming iterations of the movie.
Dude, okay, so and that reminds me of something that we haven't talked about yet, but basically his the one that Tony Stark already gave him, having the integration of like Iron Man type technology in there.
Oh, yeah.
Like the fact that it can do all kinds of stuff, and then that there is also like a digital assistant built in the form of Karen, as he so called her.
Yes.
Played by, I didn't even realize it was. I'm glad you realized that it was a voice that was recognizable, but it was Jennifer Connelly.
Yes.
Dude, that was freaking cool, man. Like, I love that they did that. I love that, you know, it was influenced by Tony Stark in the fact that it had so many settings and like you couldn't even figure out how to work it. I love that they call it training wheels protocol that was limiting the suit to only doing a few things.
Yeah.
That was so good. But yeah, I love that. And the fact that it is already influenced by Tony Stark. And I love that it's a suit that is great and advanced, and because in the comics he does all that kind of stuff. Like he does like, you know, like web bombs and rapid fire mode and like, you know, double, you know, string like shooting out of there. And I love that they kind of are justifying, you know, what is going on in the comics by it being a suit that Tony Stark built that has all this technology behind it. That's not just a plain Jane one. And then the fact that it's a really cool looking suit. I love the way the fabric looks because it looks like actual fabric this time and not like plasticky, rubbery suit. And that it wasn't made by him, because I really, it's so unbelievable for Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man to build this really super fancy suit that's like crazy in technology and form-fitting and perfect in all these other ways, and really meticulous in the way that it had to have been built, and it was done by some high schooler in their room or garage. You know, that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, how is that a thing that's feasible and probable? Like it just doesn't add up. Yeah. So
I just like how slowly like Marvel is bringing back and I say bringing back like all the hotties from the 90s for me, like when I was in high school, like Marissa Tomei and Jennifer Connelly and making him, bringing him back. But which is crazy because Marissa Tomei plays Aunt May, of course. And there was an article that Vanity Fair put out that I'll link in here of how horrified she was when she finally figured out who she was playing in Homecoming. Or, like with the whole, like, the Spider-Man arc. Because Marvel came at her like, oh, you're going to play this iconic character. Like, and they just kept saying iconic character. So she was like, yeah, let's go for it. Let's do it,
Yeah.
And then she realized it was Aunt May and how old she was supposed to be. And she was just like, what the hell? But they definitely gave it a new twist, and like they play on that the entire movie. And I think you said that was like one of your favorite scenes.
It's so awesome.
They're in the where they went to go eat Thai somewhere.
Yes,
and the guy was just like, oh, this rice.
It's like rice pudding on the house.
Yeah,
he gives the wink.
Yeah,
it's so good. She's like, oh, thank you.
And they just like play on it the whole movie. Like
it's
even
so good.
the guy that the bodega or the deli that he goes to, they're like, oh hey, how's her aunt?
Yeah,
she's fine, I guess.
How's your daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, or even like Tony, like they're filming the thing for Aunt May, like as an excuse, like he was it's right at the beginning because he was like that he went to go help out with the Stark internship and like thanks and immediately he's like, hey, what are you wearing?
Yeah, something skimpy at home. Okay, no, that's it's totally not professional.
It's so good, man. It gives them an extra layer of jokes they can add onto that.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the end credit sequences or the credit scenes, the mid and the end.
Yes.
So the mid one, of course, Vulture gets captured. He goes the I was going to say the previous Batman Superman route. He didn't kill Vulture,
Yes.
He got imprisoned, but he's walking down the hallway. He runs into one of the guys that was previously thwarted by Spider-Man and imprisoned. And he says, I hear you know who Spider-Man is. And Vulture, he says, well, if I did, then he would have been dead already.
Right.
But the character that he's speaking with a subtle nod, he has a huge scorpion tattoo on his neck. Subtle nod. So that, I think that's cool that they would have left it open that way and kind of like set it up for the next maybe.
Yeah.
Well, because they can't please don't make it Homecoming 2. Just
look,
title it differently.
If they're gonna go with that theme, I mean, you could very much do like Homecoming. You could then go to prom, and then graduation, like a trilogy of movies, right?
Yeah. If you're really going that route, yeah. I mean, I guess they could go that way.
I mean, high school dances. You can even do like if you want like a winter. What is the winter dance? What are those normally called?
The Enchantment Under the Sea dance.
Yeah, that's the one. Exactly.
No.
But like a winter formal kind of a thing,
okay,
like do something like that, and then maybe like a prom
like
at the end of the school year.
Dance.
But I would think they'd have to like age them up pretty quick though, because I mean these actors are not going to get any younger between now and the second movie.
Especially now with all the chemicals in their food, they're
right?
Age
Exactly,
up so
it can be so fast.
They grow up so fast.
Oh my god! But
you know what? I think
it would have to go post high school or like very close to post high school.
It'd have to, because if you're going to be Infinity War and fight somebody with the power of the universe, that's going to put some years on your face. That's not going to keep your fresh face for too long.
Yeah,
you've seen some shit.
Yes,
people getting thrown in time and turned into different objects. That does something to somebody.
Right. Dude. I mean, but I think also just overall people in general, man, like the human body itself, like, and I'm not talking fictional wise, I'm talking like real life.
Yeah.
Like there's like people mature during that age, right? Like right early 20s. I feel
spurts.
That's probably, well, I mean, just like if I look a picture of myself at 19 compared to like 23, dude, like I did a lot of growing up in that. Like I don't look anything the same, as I did from one to the other. And I think that is just the typical age that things change and you grow up a lot. Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like they're going to have to move on it. They're going to have to start filming soon. They're going to have to like age them up to make it appropriate for what they're doing in real life and who these people are going to be within the next few years.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Who knows? Maybe they'll get away with it. I don't know. I don't want it to become like this adult cast playing kids still.
Yeah.
Like that just always seems super awkward to me.
Yeah. They'll need to definitely go forward in some years on that for sure. I think it is development of Spider-Man, and without him, without telling an origin story, he's still figuring out his powers, still trying to understand how he's growing and how he's maturing and what power set does he actually have.
Yeah.
What powers does he have? I don't think they really showed spider sense.
No, they really didn't get too far into that.
They and he's supposed to be super strong, and he kind of comes into that toward the end of the film, his strength.
Yeah. It's growing constantly throughout the film because
Right?
there's a couple of times where it's it goes a little more and a little more and a little more.
Because at his peak, he's supposed to be able to lift a ton or something, right? A ton or two or something.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is in the comics.
Yeah, but I mean, I can see him because by the time he fights somebody after all of what he's done and comes to Homecoming 2, Electric Boogaloo, I really want to just see him punch a stomach plug through somebody, just boom, just a
through
hole,
Scorpion?
yeah, just boom right through their body, and him being oh shit.
Yeah.
Or One Punch Man style of him punching somebody and just blows their top half away.
Yeah.
I don't think Marvel's going to do that though.
No,
but,
probably not. I mean, especially since they kept even the cursing in this to a minimum.
Super minimum.
Yeah.
Even at the very end.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted to talk about. Aunt May finds out who Peter Parker is. Well, who Spider-Man is.
Yes.
Peter Parker. Right.
Yes.
And at the
Right before the credits start rolling.
Oh my God, that's so awesome. She's like, "What the?"
Credits.
The credits. Oh man, and that's what I kind of want to leave us on today. Was basically Kevin Feige kind of came out as he does every week now, on Feige Facts. Basically saying hey, that's what they wanted to do, that scene, they just feel these scenes and the way they put the way they've been putting the films together is trying to bring to film what people haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And coming away with just that kind of feeling of what, they actually freaking did that, which we did a lot.
Yeah.
We did a lot. And it happens in the comic book so far along in Spider-Man's history that she actually finds out, and I think it's maybe in Spectacular Spider-Man or something like that. But it was a ways down the line. But the fact that she finds out so quick within a year of him becoming it, that's super crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of cool though. But I mean, I think they also have to do that, or it gives it a different space to be able to do that because she's playing a younger Aunt May.
Yeah.
Because Aunt May traditionally has been super old, and it's this thing also of Aunt May can't handle that he is Spider-Man. There's because she's older, too much physical stress, too much emotional stress.
Yeah.
It just would not be good for her to find out. And I think they play on that a lot in the comics. And that's why it takes so long for it to be revealed to her that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they can take it a different way here. She's younger. She's, able to do and help out more, I think, also with the whole Spider-Man thing, if she knows he's Spider-Man early on. And that's I'm totally fine with that. That was one of the things that I was not offended about, because sometimes I get offended about those kind of things. I'm like, whoa, pump the brakes. It's too much.
Yeah.
And this was not. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool that she is, because I would love to see her more involved in the whole Spider-Man storyline.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely want to.
After your little love fest earlier, I'm sure you do, Eric.
Hey, you can have AJ squared, and we'll leave it at that. We got to bring that back.
All right, pump the brakes. All right.
All right. You're okay, we got to end the show.
Okay,
Man, we're running long.
And speaking about, so first of all, thanks everybody, because this has been a very long episode, I feel. And I feel even once I edit this down, it's still going to be a very long episode. We've been sitting here recording for a long time. So thank you for having patience with us and being patient enough to listen to the end of the show. And as Cap told us at the end credits of this, patience is something that it's a great quality.
Yeah.
It's something that everybody needs, because sometimes it leads to absolutely nothing.
Yeah, sometimes it's not even worth it, But here we are. How many more of these do we have? We're right on.
So good.
Well, until next time, folks, thanks for hanging out. Oh, wait! John, where can they find us?
They can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all as Kenobi's Corner. You can also go to kenobiscorner.rocks to get to our SoundCloud page. Drop us a comment, send us a link, a tweet. Did I say link? I said link.
Yeah,
I meant tweet.
Send us a link tweet.
You can do that too. Like, send us a link in the tweet of stuff you want us to cover or subjects you want to talk about. Have a conversation with us there. We'd love to talk about, these things with you. Send us your favorite scene of Spider-Man if you've already seen it, which we hope you have, because it is very good. And
would you like to see
connect
the
with
next
us.
Spider-Man?
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
Please.
Cool. Well, until then, folks, appreciate y'all, and please enjoy yourselves and each other.